YouTube family. It's Less of Sarah. That was terrible. I make a shitty pirate. Anyway, it's me. I'm back from Tampa from the WLSFA Mother-in-law meet and greets for this year, Land and Sea. And I thought that just to make things more interesting, I would carry on a tradition that I did from Obesity Help last year in October. That was obviously when Team VSG went to the costume party as the Spice Girls. And in my following video, I wore my Posh Spice little bob wig. So I thought I would rock my wig. I'm not naked under here, just so you know. Okay, just wanted to make that clear. It's not another Naked November. I don't know. Yeah, it's April, so there's nothing about nakedness that starts with A, so I couldn't even do that if I wanted to. Anyway. I did say that I was going to make 2 videos to wrap up my experience. One, this one being sort of about the conference and stuff that I learned and things that I took away and all that sort of thing. And then the next one about the experience of being with all the people who were there. I'm going to try and keep this one free of tears. Next one, yeah, can't really say that's going to be the truth. So, and you want to make sure you watch the next video because I'm going to compare and contrast my hair. This was my original wig, and then I actually stole Sarah Nurgen's wig. We switched at one point. She had a long blonde wig. And it seemed that the men of Tampa preferred me in the blonde wig, but I would like, you know, my YouTube family's feedback because clearly I plan on growing my hair down to my butt. But just in case. So let's talk about something real. I really enjoyed the conference. I wanted to go to Vegas last year and it just didn't happen, but I had friends who went and I literally, as soon as I heard that there was a cruise involved, I booked immediately as soon as possible. I think we have been booked for like 11 months, or had been booked for 11 months for this event. We've been waiting a long time and it didn't disappoint. I really didn't get a chance to take part in all of the conference activities for one reason or another. There were a few things that happened. I, you know, sometimes was like involved in a conversation and felt like I couldn't leave. And, but I mean, I don't regret that. The things that I did do were great. My good friend, the mentor to the people, Chris Waffle, actually did a panel on the one day, which was really, really cool. It was great. We all went to support him, and he did a great job. And there were a lot of other, you know, great speakers and panelists. The 2 obviously big ticket speakers were Lisa Lampanelli and Carney Wilson. I actually did go to the dinner with Lisa. I didn't really have a chance to speak to her one-on-one, which was, you know, cool, no big deal. But she did sit at our table for a few minutes, and generally, you know, she was quite funny and engaging. So she seemed pretty cool. And then Carney Wilson, who, you know, I've always sort of felt a kind of connection to in a strange way. She was just, I was literally in tears during her talk. I won't give away what exactly she was talking about, but I just was like, Carney, you are my people. I actually kind of felt that way about both Carney and Lisa, that they would make, you know, excellent additions to Team VSG, even though Carney hasn't had VSG, but you know, whatever. We did actually give, Mike made a t-shirt, and Jamie, VSG Buddy, gave a VSG's for Losers t-shirt to Lisa. So you never know, maybe we might see her rocking that at some point. But I thought it was great that they were involved in the event and so passionate about the cause, about helping people to receive weight loss surgery and to change their lives. So I thought that was amazing on their part. Let's see, I did make notes because I didn't want to skip a whole bunch of stuff. Talked about Lisa, talked about Carney. I also just want to say that everyone that I met involved in the WLSFA, some of them I had met before, some I knew, you know, from YouTube or Facebook, some I didn't know at all. Everyone was amazing. And I do think they did a really great job. It was a pleasure meeting all of them. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my next video, but I am really excited. I would really like to go to the meet and greet next year. I know they are still deciding between a couple of locations for the meet and greet, so I'm not going to say anything about that, but a little birdie told me that they may be putting it to a vote on their website. So if you have strong feelings about where you'd like it to be, you can probably check that out. So I got a plastics consult. I'm not sure whether I actually talked about that in my video beforehand. But yeah, I had a plastic consult, and you know, the name of the surgeon just completely went out of my mind. It was not Dr. Katzen, but it was the female doctor. And her first name is Marnie. We'll just call her Dr. Marnie. She's located, I think, in Clearwater. I mean, she's a local Florida surgeon. I had a plastics consult with her, and I really just kind of wanted to get a surgeon's opinion on how much more weight I needed to lose to get the best results from plastics. And so I went into that consult, and, you know, admittedly, like, I was a little nervous knowing that I would have to pretty much, you know, get naked in front of her. And she totally put me at ease. And it was funny because she said, you know, she asked me how much weight I'd lost, and she said, well, you look great. What is it that you want us to do? And I thought, girl, I haven't taken my clothes off yet. Just wait till you see. But, yeah, she sort of looked at everything. We talked about everything. And you know, the gist of it was basically that if I could lose 20 to 30 more pounds, which is pretty much exactly what I was aiming for, you know, being like between like 190 and 200, let's say, that I could have excellent results with plastics. She said, I don't really have that much fat left in most areas in the skin. So, you know, she said I could go ahead and have plastics, you know, soon if I really wanted, but my results wouldn't be quite the same. And also, I'm still not really at what they would consider to be a stable weight. And she did say that they would want me to be at a stable weight for 6 months. So I think my plastics timeline is still, like I said, about a year to 18 months away. And, you know, in the next little while, I'm obviously going to try my best to get off that extra weight if I can. So that was really, really helpful to me in a lot of ways. I'm going to come back to that because at the end of the video, I want to talk about some of the takeaways personally from this whole last week and a half. So I'll move on from that just to talk a little bit about NSVs. There are a lot of NSVs that happen, some small, some big. When I was on Fat Kings, Lauren Losing asked me about something I talked about in a video a long time ago, about an NSV involving a stripper. And I said I was at a strip club, male strip club, and saw this very, you know, well-built but kind of small guy pick up quite a robust woman. And I was kind of like, I want that to be me. That's going to be, you know, my, like, NSV. I want a stripper to pick me up. Well, I got picked up a lot, actually, in Tampa. Let's see. Gooch picked me up. TJ picked me up and literally, like, carried me. Phil, there was actually quite a few people who picked me up, which I was kind of uncomfortable with at the beginning, but I think it was because I kept saying no one's ever done it, that everyone decided they needed to. But I will not say who it was, but someone completely picked me up stripper style. So, yeah. NSV. There's a bunch of other things as well. A lot of them were just small things, and I'm not going to necessarily go through all of them because a lot of people wouldn't even, you know, be that interested. But it was very meaningful to me not only to have those NSVs, but also to be with other people who are having NSVs. And it's always amazing to share those things with people. Sorry, too much hair. To share those things with people. So, I mean, you guys know an NSV is amazing on its own, and when you can share it with others, or you can share in their NSVs, it's just such a beautiful experience. So that was great. I guess I should talk about the cruise as well. The cruise was really fun. I am a fairly avid cruiser. We cruise quite a bit, like probably once or twice a year. This is actually the second cruise I've been on this year, and we're going on another one in September. So that part wasn't like anything new for me, but the like traveling with that many people together was definitely something new, and I hadn't been on Royal Caribbean in quite a while, and I loved everything about it. It was great. We really, you know, Team VSG, we really tried to get involved in a lot of the activities. We did the the Finish That Line contest, which I must say I did win. Sorry, Chris Waffle. As I said in my Facebook post, the plaque for the alternates is downstairs in the ladies' room. Anyway, so we did that. We did the Quest Adult Scavenger Hunt, which of course we also won, which was hilarious and involved Chris Waffle in my shirt and bra and shoes and Nerd Nergan's underwear. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to get to see those pictures, or I may have even Facebook one accidentally. Who knows? So, but we did. We tried to get involved in as many activities as we could. Chris did the World's Sexiest Man contest. And even those things in some way, we did karaoke. Even those things in some ways were like NSVs because, you know, there's like a freedom now that I never felt before. And actually now is sort of a good time, I guess, to talk about that part of it. My behavior now, I don't think is that much different than when I was 450 pounds plus. But what is different is my level of comfort with myself. I love to dance. And I used to bust a sexy move at 450. But now I don't feel self-conscious about it. I don't even think about how I look when it's happening. I just let it happen. And that is a really powerful thing. And that is like you know, when I think about my goals, I guess I never thought about that as being a goal, but it really was. It was just a goal to be comfortable in my skin and comfortable just being myself because that's who I am. And oh no. That was a really moving and sort of powerful experience to have had. And it permeated that whole 10 days or 9 days. Everybody made me feel exactly the way I always wished I'd felt. Accepted and loved and attractive. I mean, I obviously have body issues and, you know, I'm a girl. No matter what, I mean, we're self-conscious about our bodies but, you know, so many people complimented me or whatever. I mean, it just really made me feel like I didn't have to really worry about that anymore. You know, that people really saw me for me and that instead of having to hide behind how I looked or having to project my personality to compensate for my looks, that people readily could accept both together. You know, that I could just be, I could have the way oh God, I don't even know how to say this. I could have my appearance and the way I look and my personality be like one thing that made sense together. And it wasn't one trying to overcompensate for the other. So that was really special. Yeah. And then the plastics consult, you know, I definitely think that it helped me to accept that I'm on the right track as far as where I think I need to be. And that, you know, it wasn't like she was like, yeah, you're going to need to lose another 60 pounds. You know, I mean, that wasn't going to happen anyway. But I talked about beforehand wanting to kind of figure out for myself what my goal really was. And I think that did happen. I think I realized that physically I may not be at the goal that I set out to be at. But when it comes to changing my life and being happy with who I am and satisfied with my size, maybe not with the way my body looks, but with my size, you know, I'm pretty much there. It doesn't mean I'm going to call it. I'm not comfortable with that quite yet. But I'm there. And that is, that's all I could have asked for out of this journey. When I first chose the handle LessOfSarah, my motto was, you know, less of me, but more myself. And I finally feel like I've gotten there. I finally feel like this trip sort of proved to me that I was able to just be Sarah without trying to cover up for how I looked or what people thought or constantly thinking about people judging or anything like that. I just was able to be me, just be the person that I am. And that's part of what made the last week and a half so powerful and ultimately kind of life-changing. So I cried even though I said I wouldn't. But I'm going to cut this off and I will come back with another video where I'll just cry with blonde hair instead. Bye!